Thank you everybody for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV. It really means so much to me that you guys have come back to this channel, especially seeing how there's no news right now in the No Man's Sky world. But this channel's built around being like a fan channel for No Man's Sky, so it's not just news. It's focusing on the community, letting people get a voice and get on the mic, and going over old information for some of the new people. And I've seen a lot of comments asking about the space stations, and I've seen a lot of people saying that you could destroy the space stations. So we're going to go over the space stations on this episode. I do want to say the megaton rainfall video, I see a couple of people got upset that I uploaded that, and that's fine, it's cool. And it got disliked, and that's why the button's there, so you can dislike it. It's fine. But don't worry guys, I only upload megaton rainfall videos when there's new information. And trust me, the information drip on megaton rainfall is super slow. And he stated in his blog post that there won't be any more announcements for megaton rainfall until early 2016. So it doesn't look like there's going to be another video until next year. But moving on to the space stations, and then we're going to have some subcasts at the end. But if you guys have a topic that you want me to talk about on the show, comment down below what that topic is. And then the most voted one, like thumbs up somebody's comment, and the most voted up one, then I'll see what I can do about tackling that topic. The general shape of the space stations indicate the quality of items within, and multiple docking bays mean there will always be an open parking spot. If you land in the docking bays in a space station, you can get out and browse tradable cargo or stroll down the line of ships to check out stats and prices. What you can buy depends on who is there. Could see a ship you like and want to buy it, but then it just flies off before you get a chance. And this is the part that really excites me. And this has something to do with a lot of the questions I see. Are there going to be Easter eggs in No Man's Sky? The answer to that, yes, but they're not going to be intentional Easter eggs. They're going to be accidental Easter eggs. And for those of you that don't know what an Easter egg is, it's like finding the lost island in Just Cause 2. Some space stations look like the Death Star and Borg Cube. Now, because of the algorithms and the procedural generation, people are going to find space stations that were not intentionally made to look like the Death Star, but it just turned out that way. So that's what I mean by there's going to be unintentional Easter eggs in No Man's Sky. It goes on to say, and they can be attacked. You cannot destroy it because there has to be a space station in every system, but you can damage them to lower their rating. No reward for doing that though, but you can be rewarded for attacking the police it sends out to attack you. And yes, there's space police, just like on the planets there's sentinels, and the sentinels are a race of sentient, self-replicating machines designed to keep a planet's ecosystem in check if a player overmines an area's resources or attempts to harm the local wildlife. Sentinels will be dispatched to maintain the ecological balance, but space police, for lack of a better term, are a group of interstellar peacekeepers who will attempt to stop players from committing crimes against other spacecraft and space stations. If an explorer decides to destroy or raid a trading convoy, for example, or a space station, the police will arrive to neutralize the threat. If you attack the space police though, military will start to show up. Ships will be dispatched should players decide to engage in combat with the police peacekeepers. These are quick ships with highly powerful weapons capable of eliminating almost any threat with ease. So I imagine guys, if you come across the military, probably the best bet would be to warp out. Let's just hope they can't warp right after you. But in these space stations, there's not really much to do inside, aside from looking at and purchasing new ships. It's basically a ship showroom, as Sean has mentioned, but we've seen him purchasing a resource at the beginning of one of the gameplay videos. I'm pretty sure you could trade inside the space stations as well. Also, when it comes to other players in the game, if you look on the galactic map, Sean Murray said a star that is twinkling is a player making a discovery in that star system. So if you see something like that and you're in that star system or right next to it, I would imagine hanging out at the space station would probably be a good way to run into that other player, even though it's going to be highly rare for you to do so. As far as not being able to know if it's a player or an AI, I'm pretty sure that the movements of both are going to be very predictable. The AI are going to fly, with a plan. They got a plan. They know what they're doing. Someone who is controlling another player, controlling a ship, it's going to be a little bit more erratic. So that should cover some of the questions that some of you had about the space stations. I'm going to add some very awesome subcast in this video. You guys are amazing. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here and being on this channel, watching the videos, liking the videos. I am in debt to all of you. Thank you. Until next time.
Mic is muted. There we go. Thanks for having me, and thanks for making a really amazing community for No Man's Sky.
Thank you for the kind words, man.
It's definitely been enjoyable following the website and also kind of interacting with you. And I appreciate you sharing my video. That was that was huge. So
yeah, that was awesome, man. Yeah, thank you for being part of this this community, dude. It's really awesome, and I can't believe how big the community is growing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I'm surprised how the number of submissions in the Your Story section keeps growing. You've talked about some of the role play and how you're really interested in how people are doing that.
Yeah,
I find it interesting how there's new ones getting added. It seems like
all the time,
every day or every couple days.
Funny
as well as other ones continue going on. Go ahead.
Funny story. When I added that section, somebody, a couple people told me that was stupid. Why did you add that? And I'm like, trust me, man. People want to tell their story. You need to give them a place to do it. And that's one of the most popular sections on Exploring a Mess.
Right, and I think I've mentioned this to you by private message, but say it again. I think that No Man's Sky has kind of positioned itself uniquely to allow for that kind of thing in role playing, because the storytelling is not completely absent like it was in the very first iterations of Minecraft, where there's no NPCs or no nothing. It's just basically this world that you build, but it's not heavy-handed where it's basically on rails and they're telling you this is the story, and we'll give you the illusion of a choice, but basically you're going to do what we're going to pull a Mass Effect, and everything you did sums up into 3 choices. I mean,
right,
that's not going to happen.
Right.
And I think that it's a great situation, because another thing that's great about for role playing for No Man's Sky is one example I was thinking of that earlier this week was, I remember playing Lord of the Rings online, and I was enjoying it, and there were some guys that wanted to do some role playing in the game, and they were setting up their own storylines through the chat in the game, and the suspension of disbelief kicks in, because they're like, oh, we're going to do this, and this is really important, but you see the world around you and you think, but that's not really going on. You're making this stuff up. There's really, it's so obvious that this story you're creating is not possibly true. Whereas with No Man's Sky, and you have planets to explore, somebody can say, well, I come from this planet that was, half cavemen and half super technology, and we launched into okay, well, nobody's going to be around to say, no, that didn't happen. That planet's not actually there. There's room for you to tell your story, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, somebody else can't say, I came from that planet, and that's not what it's from, or that's not what it's about. And like the factions that are warring, fighting each other in space, you could just make up who they are and why they're fighting.
Right. I loved one of the articles I read. I think it was an article. It might have been one of your shows. I can't remember where I came across this. But the fact that the factions that are in the game, even themselves, are procedurally generated,
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a really fascinating piece, because when I started hearing about the factions initially, I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be 3 factions. There's going to be like this empire and this empire and this empire. And the way that they're procedurally generated, it makes me think that across the span of the galaxy, there's going to be maybe 30, 50, 100 different factions, and who knows, how that's all going to work out. So there's certainly room, again, for people to say, well, I'm part of this faction, and this is what they're about.
You're totally right.
Right, and I think the absence, like I said, of the absence of them being heavy-handed with the story allows for that. And with games like this, there's always a desire for us to take part in the story. And in the earlier age of gaming, we were just happy to see a story visually presented. And now we've kind of progressed. I mentioned this on the website, actually, because somebody asked about on the community, because somebody asked about, well, does this make us lazy? Because we're looking for somebody to tell us what to do. And I was trying to explain there, and briefly, because I knew I was going to try and get with you tonight. It's a conditioned response. We get games that tell us, okay, you're the hero, you have to go save this person, this is what you're going to do. We've come to expect that. And then they give us games like Skyrim, which is, okay, here's this thing that you've got to do, but there's all this other stuff you can do, and you can literally spend, hundreds of hours in this game and not have done it all. I think where Skyrim fails is it gives you all this room for storytelling, but if you want to tell your own story, you've got to basically become an amateur developer and, get these modding tools and build these buildings, these NPCs and whatever, all to tell your own story.
Right.
Where No Man's Sky is more a step in the right direction, where it's saying, here's this world setting where there's all kinds of room for you to tell your own story. And the fact that you can discover things and have an impact on the world for all the players that are there. I mean, it gives you a little bit of an ability to change the world you're playing in, which is what ultimately we want. Because, all of us, we all got to admit that we really just want the holodeck off of Star Trek. We want to be able to step into a room, have it be a real world that we can play with and do all that stuff, and but we're not there yet. So This is the closest thing. And I'm excited about No Man's Sky. I'm really looking forward to this, but I'm definitely looking forward to what this is going to do to gaming, because I think the games that are going to follow on from this are going to be really mind-blowing.
A lot already have. You hear what Elite Dangerous is planning on adding into the game. You hear, look at Empyrean that just released. It looks really fun. I watched a gameplay, hour-long Let's Play of it today, and I'm just like totally stoked for it. I can't wait to get it to tie me over to No Man's Sky, obviously. But yeah, you're right. What the impact that this game's going to have once people are looking at this game from a distance, they know it's a big thing, but they're still not convinced it's going to make a huge impact in gaming. But I think once this game releases and all the videos start going up on YouTube, I think they're going to see that it's going to have a strong presence on YouTube, as strong as Minecraft. Because we got to face it has nothing to do with Minecraft, but Minecraft is one of those games that people were not interested in the beginning, and now look at the stronghold that they have on YouTube. And I think No Man's Sky, with the infiniteness about it, and the different playthroughs, the different aliens, the different worlds, I think it's going to have a long, strong life on YouTube for sure. And by that, people are going to wow, this game is big.
Before No Man's Sky came out, was even announced in any way, I'd never heard of procedural generation. And even now, I've been talking to people about it, and they say, so that's like random generation. And I have to try and explain it as best as I understand it. No, it's not random.
Right.
It's actually, it's math. It's generating everything off of math. It's not just picking stuff at random and throwing it together. because that would result in some chaotic combinations.
Right.
And I just appreciate, again, everything you've done for building this community.
Thank you, bro. I do appreciate it.
We literally would not be here if it wasn't for you.
Well,
we'd be someplace else talking about
it. Yeah,
it.
exactly. We would all definitely be someplace else. If I never started, I'd be talking to somebody like me, just like you are now. Just being a crazy No Man's Sky addict like I am. But dude, I thank you so much for coming on tonight. I do appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. You have a good night, man.
Hey, you have a good night too.
All right, see you, bud.
Hey guys.
Hi. Thank you for coming on Cobra TV, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me be on the show.
Dude, it's a pleasure, dude. So what brings you on tonight?
Oh, I just wanted to talk about No Man's Sky and how I wanted to ask about this speculation I was thinking about alien temples. We haven't really touched that much on this topic, but I thought it would be a really good topic to talk about.
Yeah, they said the ancient ruins that you could find blueprints inside them. So we know we can go inside these ancient alien ruins. And blueprints are some of the things that you can find in it. I don't know if there's anything else other than that, but
I wonder what's the. Oh,
you could even, I think he even mentioned you could even find learn about the lore behind No Man's Sky inside these ancient ruins.
Then that actually makes it more interesting. Today I was thinking about, can you actually land on asteroids? Maybe it sounds like a really dumb idea, but
it's a really cool idea. Now, a long time ago, I did a video where there was a board and somebody, used something to clear it up, and they had these sticky notes everywhere, and it said "walking in space." But I did a video a long time ago, but with the fact that they took away calling your ship to your location,
I did not know about that. That sounds like a really good idea. I don't know why they took it away. For example, you're getting shot at or something, you just call it and you jump into your ship.
Yeah. Well, he said that when people would play it in front of him, what he noticed was people would move 5 feet and call their ship, 5 feet and call their ship. And it was he said it was kind of stupid looking. So they kind of took it away so that way you could lose your ship and you would have to really look at the landmarks and know where you're going in relation to where you parked your ship. So the fact that they took that out, and he mentioned in the Game Informer podcast that they kind of took out being able to extinct an animal species. So walking in space, I really wouldn't count on it, because it was so long ago.
Actually, how can I say this? I wish, how Elite Dangerous, it isn't that rare to find an online player, for example.
Yeah.
I wish No Man's Sky could be like that for I don't know, because a lot of people would want to do mods on it and stuff to play with their friends, but it isn't going to be available. So I'm just thinking they should actually kind of add that.
Well, he did say in a GameSpot interview a long time ago that they had this thing that they're working on, a more traditional multiplayer that they want to add later down the road, that they're really excited about. But I really, that was said so early on. I don't even know if they're still planning on it. And I imagine that's just a co-op thing. So there's that to look forward to. But I really think that since this game is about isolation and exploration, I think that they want us to play the core of the game long before they even add that in. You could still get to your friend. It's next to impossible, but you can actually still do it.
Yeah, because for example, you can, I don't know, out of nowhere find the same solar system and just go there, but it will be really hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. To get to the center of the galaxy, it takes about 40 to 100 hours.
Yeah,
that's if
I heard.
Yeah, that's if you rush it. But once
that's
you get
my
there,
idea. Yeah.
Once you get there, you can pick a solar system and then just decide, hey, meet me at that space station. To
Oh,
make
you
it
could?
easy. Well, you could tell your friend, or you just message your
Oh
friend.
yeah.
Because you know.
That actually is a good idea. That's what I was thinking about how you can go to the center of the universe. Cause that's my idea. Don't stop that much on planets, cause I want to see what's in the center of the universe. And like, just tell your friends, like, meet me in this galaxy, like this close from it. You know?
Yeah.
That's actually a really good thing to think about. Cause I don't know, sometimes you're gonna feel like the loneliness. Cause, for example, on Gmod,
Right.
you don't want to play by yourself. You want to play with people.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe on No Man's Sky you might get the feeling of that. Yeah, adding a bit of multiplayer in it would be a great idea.
It would be cool. It would be cool. And look forward to it, like, way later. But, I see that actually coming to the game way later. And I don't know if you're playing it on PC or PS4, but...
I would get it on PS4.
Okay. He's going to allow PC to have a certain set of modding tools to mod the game a little bit. So I don't know if being able to mod a better multiplayer, if they're going to do something like that on PC, I have no idea. I just started PC gaming this year, so I'm a bit behind.
Oh.
I'm a bit behind in knowing what's what with modding and what you can do.
And now that I think of it, if that is so, I would actually think about getting both versions. The PC one is more for goofing around, but my PS4, since like I'm PlayStation at heart, I would that's my base console, you know?
Yeah.
I also play PC gaming, but not like as much as my PlayStation.
Yeah. When I first learned about this game, I was like, "Oh, multiplayer." Like I couldn't get out of my mind. But the more I learned about the game, the more I read, the more I heard Sean Murray talk, and the more deeper I got into No Man's Sky, I realized and respected how lonely the game's gonna be. I'm a huge multiplayer guy. That's all I play, and I'm really
Same here.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the desolate feeling of being alone in No Man's Sky. I really am.
Yeah,
I think
that's actually a really good touch. That's different, you know?
Yeah.
Because you don't see a lot of games that are like that. And have you heard of what's it called, Star Citizen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For example, that one is like more multiplayer, but that's like an average Call of Duty in space thing, open world, to me. Because I heard you can do like first-person shooting missions. Over here in No Man's Sky, it's like different from all the other games. That's what makes it special.
Yeah, you're right. It makes it special because it's not a traditional multiplayer game. So I think that if they're going to add the traditional multiplayer, I really hope it's a long time away. I really do.
Yeah. But it would be nice.
It would. I do agree. I do agree that, being able to explore with your friends would be nice. And
that would be pretty awesome.
I hope one day that it does happen. Just not now.
Yeah, because first you want to take in the game, the feeling of the differentness,
Yeah.
What was I say? What are your I can't pronounce this word. Speculations about about when the game is gonna be released. Supposedly it was gonna be soon, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be around mid 2016.
I don't want to put in my prediction. I've done a lot of that speculation before. But I think, with Sony being involved, it could be anything. It could be tomorrow. It could be next year. It could be right in the middle of Fallout 4. Who knows?
Exactly.
But I say let them take their time. Let them get this game.
Yeah, to make it good. Because, on the gameplay at E3, I watched the whole live stream of it, especially because of the No Man's Sky. Mm-hmm. I saw a couple glitches like the grass floating and stuff, so I want them to take their time on this to make it an excellent game.
Yeah, you're right. Because so many games are being released unfinished, all these alphas, and paying for demos or paying for pre-alphas, and it's, gosh, man, that's just such a mess. You know, like
Destiny, that was odd because you had to pay for the alpha and then the beta and then the full version. I mean, come on.
Then they had locked DLC on the disc. You know, like you already paid. It was already on the disc. You unlocked it by paying for the DLC. I don't want to get into that conversation because I know that there's some Destiny fans out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just in case, I just want to stay clear of that.
Yeah. What else? Now that I think of it, do you remember that trailer that involved like a snake type of thing?
Yeah.
I wonder how many planets are gonna be like that, or like a planet. Like for example, yesterday, cause I was thinking about today. What if there's like a planet like Jupiter? You know how Jupiter is just gassy and like there's barely any ground or anything. I wonder if there could be like a planet like that. That would be pretty.
He mentioned once about gas planets, and he said that they weren't going to be in the game because you couldn't land on them.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, can you, my channel is like a really small thing. Like, it's not a big thing, but if you can give a shout out to me.
Sure, what is it? What's your channel name?
It's the same thing as my Skype name.
Okay, so you're Ender Captain 1234?
Yeah, exactly how it's written.
All right, everybody. If you guys are interested in checking out Ender Captain's YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/user/Ender Captain 1234.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on, Cobra.
Hey, it's been a pleasure for me, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks.